I think we are live, if I'm not mistaken at least. Anyway, so quickly, just to not waste anybody's time before we get into all the nitty-gritties of it, basically the situation as it currently stands is everybody's talking about the tariffs perhaps being blocked or paused or something like that. You can see it's right now ongoing. Basically, the last minutes here have been all about it, and the market has also been reacting accordingly. Over the last few hours, I've been buying a good chunk. As you can see, our position is now increased significantly throughout the last day or so. I think we about doubled up or so. We're still down about $8,000 or so on the trade, but overall we were just down, I think, like 50,000, maybe more. So that has also been recovering quite nicely. And I think overall, yeah, look at that. Even since I just started, I pressed the button, we're up roughly 6 cents on XRP. Don't FOMO, don't do anything crazy, but the price right now is moving up hard again. And basically just when the news came out, I decided to buy a little bit more. But this is where the speculation really started. Also, the price fell down too much. I am telling everybody, though, be a bit cautious with moves like this because every single bit of news here can move the markets hard. And right now, there's a good bounce back. And again, if you're wondering, let me quickly bring it back up. So let's quickly go through a couple of pieces. One that was really interesting is, let's quickly find it. Where was it now? One was right here. So, it's in Spanish. Oh, here we go. We have the English version. We had a good conversation with President Trump with great respect for our relationship and sovereignty. We reached a series of agreements. Mexico will immediately reinforce the northern border with 10,000 members of the National Guard to prevent drug trafficking from Mexico to the U.S., particularly fentanyl. The U.S. states is committed to working to prevent the trafficking of high-powered weapons to Mexico. And 3, our teams will begin working today on 2 fronts, security and trade. 4, they are pausing tariffs for 1 month from now. For 1 month from now. They are pausing tariffs for 1 month from now. Looked good. I mean, this guy, though, he quickly changed it up again. So here it said, this is unusual wills, Mexico's President Sheinbaum has said tariffs delayed for a month, but he has a new version of it. Let's quickly see here. What's the latest version? I guess this is the latest post. Mexico's president, we are deploying 10,000 troops, etc., etc. In exchange, U.S. has promised to, yeah. Okay. Let me give that a follow, I guess. Good. Right? I mean, that means pump. Doesn't that mean pump? Oh, let me quickly see if you guys are in the chat, actually. Let's see. Oh, we have a couple of people in here. It's not too busy. I think the notification did not go out to anybody just now. If you're in the chat box, just quickly let me know. Tom is here. We got a couple hundred people in. Maybe everybody left. Maybe they're all afraid. There we go. Oh, okay, we got a couple of people in here, huh? Wait, I'm only streaming for 3 minutes only, huh? Oh, so I've been just screaming everything in like the first few seconds. Sometimes I don't even go live until 5 minutes in, huh? But I just wanted to quickly bring you all the news, and then we could kind of diversify from there. Man, what a crazy time we're living in. So right now, as it stands, XRP at what? Oh, look at that. It just went to 259 again, huh? That is crazy. Oh, big drop, 255, right back. Okay, I hope this is a joke. Nick says, sold the bottom, ready to buy the top. That's nice. 𝗕𝗀 didn't receive a notification. Damn. So the reason that's the case, by the way, if you're not sure, is YouTube will only give you 3 notifications a day. All right? So that's why I sometimes tell people, refresh it sometimes, because if you have been subscribed for a long time, and I've posted 3 updates now within a day, maybe the 4th, in this case a stream here, you might not get. So that's why I sometimes say you gotta be on it. And maybe I should actually have another place where I always share them, where you always get notifications. Like, for example, a Telegram channel of sorts. Elias says, I loaded up last night and wife don't know anything. I mean, that's cool if things work out well, huh? And right now, things seem to work well because of the new rules. And I think prices have actually bounced significantly based on this. Let's quickly take a look. Let this refresh for a sec. Whoa. Let's see if this is really true. Looks true. You know that one of my trades got liquidated, by the way, one of my accounts? I told you guys in a video earlier. It was actually because of this move all the way down. Because, again, looking at it, the price went from $2.85, let's call it $2.85, all the way down here. So roughly 40% down or so in like a few hours when I was asleep. And again, I prepare for moves down, sure, but I didn't prepare for a 40% move overnight. You know, I mean, I thought things were going to be fine, but I think it was actually my H bar that wrecked me, and I didn't even check the H bar price. Right now at 26 cents, but I don't know. It's probably not going to properly show what the price went to last night. It was probably ridiculous, though, what had happened over there. Most likely, it was just absolutely ridiculous. But regardless, for all the new people that are in the chat right now, if you're wondering, it's basically Mexico saying, hey, we're doing a lot of stuff to make sure the U.S. is not angry, and they've paused the tariffs. Now, that was already the expectation. So to take a step back, we did expect the tariffs to be paused, but we did not know if Mexico or Canada in that sense was actually going to do what we, I guess, wanted to see. And in this case here, the results are positive, but that was basically the gamble, right? And right now the market is not fully recovered because, first of all, it's just a pause. And I looked at the comment section. A lot of people said this is where the recession could start. All we know is Intel just spoke with Canada's Trudeau, will speak to Trudeau again 3 p.m. Eastern Time by Trump. So right now we're waiting for 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. ET to Dubai time. It is right now almost 8 p.m. in Dubai. So 12 a.m. we're going to be seeing ourselves the results, perhaps. Nah, I'm going to guess. This was about an hour ago. This is when I thought, let's open up a stream. But then there were some complications. Sometimes that happens. And now, when I saw Mexico state that, hey, this is really happening, right? I thought, oh, okay, we got to open up a stream real quick. You know, the moment I saw this, I was like, oh, we got to get this doing. We got to get this going quickly with the haste, with the speed. But actually, the price already started pumping based only on this tweet right here that Trump just spoke with Canada's Trudeau, but it didn't do too much. It just went okay up. But the moment Mexico joined the game and said, hey, you know what? The tariffs have been paused for a month. Crazy, crazy bullish. But now, I guess we're going to have to wait for another 4 or so hours and perhaps a little bit after that to get the result from the Trump meeting. But I do not know how that usually works. Ladies and gents, I am not sure, right? I'm not sure if it's going to be a one-to-one basis where Trump speaks with Canada's Trudeau and they're like, statement out there. Because, I mean, it's affecting the economy very, very harshly, right? So you'd think that they'd be very, very quick, you know, with the haste, with the speed to do it. But sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's like, oh, they have a discussion, just like they have one now. What? For example, in this case here, you have a discussion multiple times a day. Is it not when you're negotiating that you have to come back to it in a few hours? That sounds logical to me. But another point is, we can say whatever you want about Trump. He said the short-term pain will be worth it, though. And I mean, as of this point, it seems like it was the case. And again, for my own strategy, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you again, I am going a bit on the cranky side, a bit on the crazy side. I bought the dip severely, mostly just spot. I've just been buying. And the main reason being that there's a limited downside and a completely unlimited upside. But again, I'm not going all in like I kind of want to, mostly because a lot of my friends who've been around for a while, they warn and say, you know, you could do that, but you also understand that just because it's gone down 90% doesn't mean it can't go down more. And right now we're facing some of the worst crypto action we've seen ever, to which I'm saying that's opportunity, right? And I tweeted a couple of times about this today saying, hey, this is really where the preparation meets opportunity. Let me quickly find the tweet if I can do that. Give me just 5 seconds. There we go. So if you go over to my Twitter, you'll find, first of all, this too shall pass. Second of all, no risk, no reward. Those are things that I hold quite dearly. And second of all, I did like a little screenshot of where we are at. Just because I think if we look back, for example, a week from now, or maybe a month from now, we'll see just how cheap these things were. And that's the thing that many people forget, that this too will pass. even though it could get a little bit worse based on whatever's going to happen tonight in just maybe like 4 hours or so, over a prolonged period of time, I do believe the only direction that we can go is upwards. And I don't know, I think the only thing I could tell y'all is just don't sleep, all right? Somebody says David Sachs is also going to speak tomorrow. Yep, we also have it in the list right here. Let's quickly find it. President Trump's AI and crypto czar, David Sachs, will hold a press conference February 4th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time to outline the administration's plans for U.S. leadership in digital assets. I'll cover this a bit more, though. And earlier, I stated in a video that this is the worst crash we've ever seen. I had a lot of angry comments saying, Dusty, you are an idiot. It is not worse. The thing is, on paper, as of this point, it is worse, but it's because we do not have the full results of back then. Why am I saying that? Well, because if we're looking at the CEO of Bybit, his words, he basically said, I'm afraid that today's real liquidation total is a lot more than the 2.3 billion we expected. By his estimation, it should be around 8 to 10 billion, because only on Bybit alone, it was at 2.1 billion. And so I think a lot of people are just, I think my food is coming. I can hear something. There we go. I'm joking. Not about the food, about the clapping. We're dumping again, boys. Is it really a dump? Regardless, what we're doing right now is just waiting for that event. It's just waiting. Let me quickly do some. I ordered more food, so there should be somebody else coming, but let's think here. Let's think. All right. So, what has been the biggest conclusionary part? What is this guy doing? Chug the water. We need more water. I think we're okay. I think we're. Can you guys see me? Because on my screen it's stuck. Oh, I think we're okay. So, 𝗕�恵𝗀𝗀𝗧 here says, Trump delaying tariffs with Mexico and is due to speak with Trudeau at 3 p.m. He actually just had a meeting with Trudeau. It's about another meeting. But the good thing is, this could be one of the craziest opportunities ever to get yourself cheap prices just to ride that freaking board back up, right? I mean, anybody who was here the whole night might have been able to get themselves an even juicier entry at like $1.70 or something like that. But then again, I will also be realistic and state that a lot of people most likely were sleeping, just like me, or who were too afraid because, man, if the macro switches up on you as much as it did just now, and Trump comes in with freaking tariffs, that changes a lot about your broader theory. And at that point, I also understand that people are too hesitant to go in hard when they see their money drop 40% in a few minutes, or a few hours in this case here, right? Regardless, like I was saying, these crashes, though, these are not necessarily normal, all right? This is heavy stuff, all right? If I had seen this before I went to bed, all right, this is what had been happening to me. It's all of us, basically. But I would have probably not slept too well. Regardless, though, I always say, you got to disassociate a little bit with all your funds in that sense. If you get too emotional, you get too caught up on it, whatever, you'll definitely not sleep well anymore. And that's the thing, right? If you really feel bad about all these different things, you got to understand that the next time around, you got to maybe change your choices a bit. And what I mean with that is, for example, I often think of, how much should I have cashed out? And then I realize, well, I believe this crypto market is going up so much more. I don't really mind holding these things for a long period of time. And worst case, all I got to do is just log off, not look back for a few months. And I know it'll be up a ton. It's only just the day-to-day action that's making you perhaps sad, or it's the FOMO. And I think for me, it's always a measure of, how much should I have to not feel as if I don't have enough? But on the opposite side, where I also don't feel overexposed. And so that is why I always love these dip buying opportunities. For example, right now at 250 whatever, we're getting such a steep discount from where we could have bought at a few days ago, even just yesterday. We're getting such a steep discount that I'm like, oh, you know what? It's actually worth chugging in some more money, right? Even though you call it stupid, I'm not sure what the amount of XRP is that we have. There must be a button on here to switch it over to see, instead of the dollar amount, to see the XRP amount. Let me quickly see if I can find a button for that. Because I remember switching it off at some point. But whenever I go to settings here, it does not show. Okay, I cannot easily spot this right now. But I was going to say, if you saw the amount of XRP I've been buying, the main reason I'm buying it, by the way, if you're wondering, is mostly because I think, there is some potential for it to go down. But as long as I keep slowly stacking, and I told you, I still have a pretty good chunk of money on the account. We still have a couple $100,000 on the account. We can still buy a couple $1 million worth of positions on here. A couple of my friends have gone basically all in already. Not really all in with all their funds. I'm just talking about really, really heavy on the leverage, like really, really heavy right here. Basically along the lines of no risk, no reward. And a lot of people realize that most likely Canada will also just loosen their asshole a little bit and say, you know what, come on in, baby. You know, it's all okay. We'll accept whatever you want, Mr. Trump. And at that point, hey, we're right back to where we started. That's why Trading Lord said I'm depositing for real, even though he said he's not going to do anything. I mean, we're really freaking cheap right now. It's such a steep discount. We got $8 to $10 billion worth of liquidations. So basically, everybody who was trading leverage is now wrecked. They were. Now, Runner says, just shorts covering, don't celebrate too early. That's what he's saying. But to the opposite side, I'm thinking, even Ponzi coming in here, he says, I'm like a cockroach, can't kill me. 50x leverage on the Ethereum trade. And Ponzi is one of the craziest guys out there, man. But it also does make sense. Can we scroll past the bumhole now? What do you mean? You mean? Wait, you mean? It's just the crypto market, brother. Let's see here. What are you guys predicting? Who thinks we're going to go up? Who thinks we're going to go down? Let's see it in the chat real quick. Look at the 4-hour close on all charts. Holy bullish. Okay, we'll take a look in a second. We'll take a look at it in a second. It's only up slightly, everyone. Don't get your hopes up high just yet. Yeah, I'm going to agree here with Rich Streams Beats. Not that I would say don't expect up only from here. Right? Please be a bit cautious. It makes sense, but both sides. Hey, everybody, we have almost 800 people in here. For all of you that have not pressed that like button yet, there has never in your life been a better time than right now. All right? I don't know many things, but that is one thing that I do know. Let's get it instantly to at least 100 likes. We have 72 right now. If you watch this right now, press that button. We are instantly at 100. There we go. Every single person who pressed that button, you are appreciated, right? I think it helps the stream out. But, I really also want to meet somebody who actually took the trade at $1.77. I want to see some crazy guy with a crazy P&L because he was able to get that juicy position in, man. That would just be crazy, crazy, crazy to watch. Most likely was somebody. There was somebody. We know there was somebody. There must have been. What time? $2. This is 2 a.m. To what? 2 a.m. Why is my... I'm trying to find the buy. Where is that? Oh, this is order history. Okay, I need to check. Okay, here we go. Let's see here real quick. Just checking something out, guys. I gotta check way back, view all. I'm just checking an older order that I placed. Seeing at what point it triggered, because I've forgotten the order level, or at least the price level of it. But I'm trying to find out. But for some reason, has it been 90 days? Yeah, it has. Okay. I can't see it no more. Okay, that's sad. So, call me a newbie, but I do not know how to see the order we placed before. For some reason, it does show up. Regardless, it doesn't matter. It's all okay, okay, okay. As it currently stands, man, all I want to see is the crazy reversal. Now, I mean, real talk, I'm not actually that sad about prices being at these levels right now. I can't say that I'm having a bad time because of all of it. If you are, again, maybe you were overexposed. Maybe you've been playing the game a bit crazy. A couple of you guys got it apparently. That's really, really crazy. Oh, $1.96, also pretty good. Somebody says you got liquidated, man. You'll make it all back is what I always say. All right, sometimes you got to lose a couple of times to make the biggest winners. Like I said before, you can only go down so much with coins that are huge in that case, like XRP, etc. The way I think about coins like that is, well, in this case here, even if we get wrecked, even I got wrecked, right? And I almost never get wrecked. I get wrecked maybe twice a year. It's only because of small mistakes in administration or flash crashes. And in this case here, the only thing was that it was just way too much out of my I guess expectation. But on the opposite side, it's also because it's on an account that I don't really watch. And it's not that much. You know, it's also possible that right now the chat is a lot less filled because everybody left. Everybody is scared. They won't come back to the stream because they've lost all their money. They've lost everything and they'll never come back. Maybe that's it. Kevin says, anyone 40 cents buy order for AOS get executed? I got so. Did AOS go to 40 cents a coin? Are you going to tell me that coin is down 75% right now? Or at least went down 75%? Man. Mark says, Dusty, I was 1 cent from liquidation. 1 cent. I only added more margin because I couldn't get my hands on a RTX 5090. Damn. 1 cent, huh? Man, I would have had my butt cheeks clenched like a maniac. 8 went to 50. No way that happened. Oh, my keyboard is empty. That of all the timings in the world, huh? No way 8 went to 50 cents. You see, do you guys remember a while back, like 2 weeks ago, when I said, okay, I'll never sleep again because of Trump? You remember? Can you understand now how I'm really thinking I should never go to bed ever again? You guys don't know, I sleep at the craziest of hours, sure. But damn. He literally whispers, so I turn up the volume and then start screaming to blow out my speakers. No, I can really start screaming like full on in here, but I'm keeping it. I try not to. All right, I try to keep it leveled. But my bad. All right, but again, with the gains we're making, I guess soon you can buy more speakers. 10,000 speakers, matter of fact. And maybe not today, maybe not within the first few months, but soon. Anyway, for all of you who are wondering what to be monitoring, right? What are we watching for? For the most part, I would say be a bit cautious. Even here, if you, for example, took a quick trade at the bottom, real talk, you could actually just try selling it again. Just, you know, be a bit cautious. At this point, again, if you did not get in, I would not buy. Me personally, right? That's me, my own personal thoughts. Just because it's up so much from the bottom that it just made, and because it's still a very risky endeavor with whatever Trump's going to say. So even though you're thinking, oh, but, yeah, but, I mean, we're not sure. If we were sure, the market would have recovered back to previous prices instantly. It's the fact that we are not sure that's causing things to be mid. Would you short XRP now? I'm not really I don't short altcoins ever. I would never. There's a couple of my friends who are really successful with shorting. But again, the thing is, if you start going up for a bit, you know, if you have longs open, and you have small longs, you could theoretically speaking just deposit more money, and eventually you're basically going to be fine or being able to cover it. Let's say, for example, you have a 100K position. If you have $70,000 in your balance, you should always be fine, basically, with most coins. You can almost never get wrecked. The counter to that is if you're shorting, if you do 100K, you can basically eventually be minus 7.5 million if the price just keeps pumping. Whereas with the long, you cannot. Right? But the long, basically, the max you can lose is whatever you've got. Now, that doesn't mean it's not a smart idea, but I mostly have done it for very, very distinct, specific cases or when a specific piece of news came out. Now, again, so some of my friends are extremely successful at shorting every single altcoin. And some people swear by it religiously, but it's depending on your trading style. And I get a bit too anxious thinking of the unlimited potential that it has and the fact that I'm not a big fan of selling my altcoin bags. So it's basically as a hedge. Now, as a hedge, it's different, right? So a lot of my friends, they do is they have their main income sources that come from something crypto related. And so basically you hedge your portfolio or your income that would most likely deteriorate if crypto were to do bad. Let's say, for example, you have a really interesting DeFi strategy. You're making a ton and it's basically significantly higher if cryptos do well or neutral. Now, if cryptos do bad, that income would fall off so much that the shorts can cover it. And if it does well, like you expected it to, then your shorts make a loss, you know, but sure, it doesn't matter because it offsets against a massive income. So it's just to kind of lessen blows. And again, you're basically decreasing your risk to some extent by covering multiple sides. A lot of people like to do that. G says, this is the most pro-crypto era we've been in. Why would the bull market be over? Well, that just depends, right? Because we always say this time it will be different. Now, from my side, the bull market's not over. But it is a matter of, hey, what do we define as a bull market? Because if it's all that easy, right? If it always repeats the exact same way, it would be a bit too easy, right? It always has some caveats, meaning even though the bull market's not over, it could be that you have a bearish time, 6 months of down, in a bull market, just like we had in April or something like that of 2021 till September or whatever. So there I would say, yeah, most likely the bull market's still going on. That doesn't mean you can't go down 95% in the midst though. Why am I saying that? Well, because if you look at most altcoins, many of them, especially the meme coins, are down like 85 or something like that percent. Jesus reminds me of the COVID fear, but yeah, true. I mean, if you think about it, the fear that we're seeing right now with the tariffs is similar. We're only down 24%. We were just down 100% and just a bit more. As I said, we were down 50K on this just now, I think, or maybe 40, I don't remember. But now we're down only 8,000, so that's doing pretty well. The reason I'm not buying more is just because I want to make sure I can say, if I was here and I would have bought more at these low prices, like a $1.90 even, I'd even consider to buy significantly at $2, $1.90. I would have done it way more, right? But I got myself too high a price. Still around the $2.34 or something like that mark. Yes, right now we'd be up even if I just hardcore bought even more, but I still kind of feel as if I can get more in it below $2. But the reason I don't want to put orders in because you might get something like this happening, a crazy cascade. What if Trump says something too wild? And for example, if I placed all my orders at $2.60, $2.70 before, I'd be crying right now, right? Which is why you monitor to see how bad the market is moving down. When is Trump speaking? 12 a.m. Dubai time. Let me see. It was for you Americans. What time was it? 3 p.m. Eastern? Let me go find it real quick. So tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, we have ourselves the new Crypto Tsar speaking on crypto. And today at around 3 p.m. Eastern, Trump is speaking to Trudeau from Canada. Again, we're not sure when the results are going to be in, right? Because you're saying he speaks at 3 p.m., but it's not as if it's... Epitax says, what do you mean for you Americans? Well, when I say 12 a.m. Dubai time, I thought, hey, you know, for you Americans, I'll look it up in American units, you know. Little up and little down again. I mean, that's the story of the market, huh? That's the story of our life. 3 p.m. Eastern time. Guys, just look in front of you, right? So you can see right here, just spoke with Canada's Trudeau. We'll speak to Trudeau again at 3 p.m. Eastern time by Trump. David Sachs speaking tomorrow. Yes, that's correct. Trump time, baby. Oh, yeah. I'm... XLM, I don't want to talk about it. Maybe... XRP is up 8% in an hour, man. What? 8% in an hour? That's pretty solid. Wait a minute, Bitcoin is almost back at 99? Isn't it kind of funny how quickly the market just moved back up? So Ponzi also just texted. Let's see if I can find it. Does he also have it on here? Maybe he also has it on Twitter. Let me find it. I will. Let's see. Oh yeah, my keyboard stopped working. I forgot. I was like, why is things? There we go. First of all, this is interesting. At this rate of achievement, not only should President Trump be on Mount Rushmore, I want to personally work the chisel. All right. Because apparently all these countries are caving in. Interesting. I'll take a look at that later. Kobe says, I just woke up after a long sleep and the Bitcoin daily candle is green. I'm thankful for another bullish and positive day in the markets. It is really funny though, right? That, to be honest, as it currently stands, I think this guy is trolling, by the way. I hope he's trolling at least. But what I was trying to say is, as it currently stands, like, the market is not really that bad. I think a lot of people are very, very much overreacting. I made a video about that a bit earlier. But man, is there a crazy opportunity. Man, if you are just a bit more degenerate, look at this. Just a while back, he opened a Ethereum long at 2200. Ethereum went to 2200. What a lucky strike, huh? Anyway, it went to 2247, and he closed it right now. It's at 2670. 2700 is it at right now, or 2698. Wow. ETH to Bitcoin has been completely wrecked for such a long time, huh? Wow.
I mean, I'd be upset, but I wouldn't be. But
But the market's moving in an interesting way right now. Such a crazy upwards move just now. Somebody says I messed up and lost 50 XRP. That's a levy, man. Pytex says, I'd say we do a 24/7 stream so we never miss anything. My friend, if I did not have I don't really have that much of a life, but in that sense, if I did not have any life, I would do that for you. Eric says, I feel bad for losing 8,000. Then I come here and see Dusty 8,000 on the minus and a position of 330. To be honest, this is not a very big position. It's not what it's about. It's first of all, it's our stream position. That's one. And second of all, it's not the idea of it being absolutely massive. The funnier thing was, it was at minus 50K earlier, but the idea was originally I put, I don't remember, $250 into the account or so. And I said, we're going to try to flip it to 10,000 or whatever. And then eventually we're like, okay, let's deposit more. Let's actually try to get a bigger trade going or a bigger journey. And then I was actually changing up and said, okay, you know what? I deposited, I think maybe 500,000 or maybe 250,000. And I was thinking, you know what? We're going to try open some juicier position and just showcase, I guess, to some extent, that most of the time you'll be able to flip your trades for profit. Not always, but most of the time you'll be able to swing them nicely. You can do the same with spot, theoretically speaking as well. But in this case, you can see our liquidation is 80 cents. And in my book, I'll just take more for some stable coin stash somewhere. So I have the funds to cover it up, but I also don't think we're going to go to 80 cents. The thing is, if this was, for example, $1.78, I would have usually thought we'd be fine, but here we would have gotten scammed. Like this 178.4 whatever, this, again, this was because of a massive liquidation spree most likely, but that I would have basically smashed my keyboard in and probably jumped up. I shouldn't say that. Okay, let's not say it. Let's take a step back. This is what can really make you angry in the crypto markets, right? This move right here. But if it went down to $1.90 or whatever, as I said it before, I expected anything below like $1.89 or so to be most likely fine. But especially anything at like the 150 area. But even right now as it stands, even though we're back to pumping, you know, we're doing good, and I'm loving to see it, don't get it twisted. I am a bit cautious. I'm a bit afraid. Not afraid of my bags. I mean, I've got my freaking bags in they're filled up nicely. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I just got them here. Nothing going on with that. But mostly, wow, we're doing good. But mostly along the lines of what if we just get another little piece of hope before we get busted down in the face again, you know? Because it's been happening a lot the last few days. Recovery and smash right back down. Recovery is smash back down. But right now it seems that we're back in almost profit. And you'll see, I think it might. Can somebody do the math on that? Nah, not necessary. I want to say, how much profit will be in if we go to back to the high, like $3.40 again? Is there a calculator on Blowfin? I know Bybit has a calculator. Here we go. So the amount we got for fun is 122,000 XRP that we bought. So that's why I said we've been buying a good chunk of XRP more. It's just the issue is that it shows up in dollars. So this number doesn't really change, but the dollar value keeps changing every single second. And so it kind of looked as if I wasn't really adding to that dip. Even for me mentally, it felt kind of weird. I was like, I keep adding, but nothing's changing. But every single time I'm just adding like 8,000 XRP or so. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7 times we added it. So pretty juicy, but still kind of like kind of meh. I'm trying to see if there's a calculator on here. Hey, I can play a sound when. Oh man, this is amazing. I love. We're gonna play this sound every single time I open something. Oh my days. I like that sound. That sounds so positive, man. We're going up. We're going up. Yes. We could go up more, but it's good. Mario loot box casino. I don't know, man. Boys, we're back in profit. We were able to flip it. Now I sell everything. Ah, we're not at a loss anymore. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. I didn't expect that. I thought this would be a way more annoying journey towards the top again. I thought I was going to be minus 50K for a long time, but hey. Can Trump coin do better? Yeah, it could. It could. I mean, if eventually the crypto market sees Trump again as a really good figure, if he now like pumps our backs to Valhalla, Trump coin will probably also do. I mean, I would expect it to. But it had a little bit of a wave where people expected it to be the new Bitcoin or whatever. And I told you guys, one person told me Trump coin will be bigger than Bitcoin. And that's why I was kind of afraid. But here's why I always will say, being delusional to some extent can be a really good thing. But the counter is, again, I wouldn't count myself rich yet. I wouldn't count on it. But you see, this is why we buy dips when things are just going so crazy, man. You realize it here again. It's so satisfying when you catch that dip. But again, if you're buying at a spot like right now, $2.60, it is up so much from the bottom. It's almost $1 per XRP, for example. It is still down tremendously from 2 days ago. But if it starts dumping now, you're going to really hate yourself. And that's why I sometimes say be a bit cautious by buying that bounce. Even though, again, when the market corrects, in this case, XRP 40% in a day, a liquidation spree not seen in years, if not ever, that's where we go. Somebody says, which crash? So for anybody that was not aware, the XRP price dumped 40% in 1 day. So the price went down 40%, and there was an $8 to $10 billion liquidation, which is the highest we've most likely ever seen, but maybe not, right? It could be that because the COVID crash numbers are not known. Nobody knows them. Everybody's talking about $2 billion worth of liquidations, but again, the CEO of Bybit came out to state that this number has API restrictions from Bybit, Binance, etc. They only publish a very, I guess I should say, quite small amount of liquidation data. So on Bybit alone in 24 hours, it was over 2 billion. And this says the entire market has 2 billion. But again, let's say there's 1,000 pings and they only publish 100 pings. You get the wrong idea, right? So apparently Bybit just now stated that they'll be releasing all the data soon, or at least going forward. You can see they're going to dig through data though. And basically whatever the number was back in the COVID times, it is most likely 4 to 6 times of what they thought it was. Because every single time we talk about these liquidations, we only know the data that they bring us. But yeah, if the data that they bring us is just like lacking, in this case it was, you get the wrong story, right? So this is over on Bybit. Over on Bybit apparently, it says also that this feed does not publish all liquidations that occur on Bybit. And it pushes, I guess, frequency is 1 second. It shows on here that it's about liquidation 333 million. Apparently, it was way higher at 2.1 billion. And he expected to be between 8 and 10 billion throughout the entire day. So, pretty crazy, right? Oh, we keep going. We take those. Oh, this is looking good. This is looking amazing. Again, I don't want to get overzealous. I don't want to tell you guys, but it's pretty good. I'm happy to see it. Trump is saving our. Trump has destroyed our backs, destroyed our balances, destroyed everything, and he made up for it again. Now, again, I would not get my hopes up too much, but I'm a little bit pessimistic right now. Again, I'm not saying over a few month time span, a few week time span. I'm saying just a daily time span, right? I've been scarred from what Trump just did to us. But man, anybody who caught this trade, he must be feeling well right now, man. And by the way, little fun fact. Basically, anybody who just got in now at 263 or lower has got themselves either the same price as me or a better price as me. So even right now, we're only up 10%. We're up, I guess we're only up 1% officially from our buy-in price. But we put, as you can see, 32K in. And from that point on, we are up, as you can see right there, 6% or so, 2,000 schmeckles. And again, if you guys also want to trade, by the way, there's still a competition. Let's go. Come on. Woo. Okay, this is nice. This is funny. If you also want to trade, by the way, link is down below. Right now, the competition is still 2 more days to go. 2 more days to go. We're giving away 5.4 thousand XRP. This was $16,000, $18,000, 17, I don't know. Right now, it's gone down a little bit. Because I think when I started, the XP price was $3.12. And right now, I guess at $1.70. This is basically a nothing burger of a giveaway. But yeah, it's an XRP regardless. So 5,400 XRP is what we're giving away. If you want it, join, link is down below. It's a trading competition, either on how good you're trading or how much you're trading. It depends. 2 different giveaways for that. But there's 20 people that can win. Oh, my days, we're doing good again. My food should arrive. But, I'll also say another thing. Man, please, 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 guys, in the comment section, understand that some people are going through very hard times, right? So whenever somebody's saying something really sad to some extent, I don't know, I feel as if it's it would be a nice thing for y'all to just cheer each other up a little bit. Maybe not in the YouTube random ass comment section, random people that you've never seen before, but I'm talking about your friends or somebody else like that, right? So the reason I'm saying that is because I made a long message to one of my friends. Not long. I don't type long, I type like these texts. Long to me, all right? Regardless, I said something like, but I'm just joking because I like to joke around. And he sends me a really heartfelt message back, like, oh, if you need my heart, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, man, I was joking. He's like, no, I'm being serious. I don't want you to jump off or something like that. And I was thinking about it. Like, yeah, you are kind of right. Some people really got completely wrecked maybe on this move and really feel like there's no hope. Now, first of all, I'll tell you, whatever you think you lost just now, if you thought it was bad, just see it from the opposite side. Eventually, you'll probably have way more money and your loss is going to be way bigger. No, on the real note, it is true, though. Before, right, if we're talking lots of years ago, if I had lost $100,000 in a few minutes, I don't know what I would do, right? But now it's very casual. My brain doesn't even process it because it happens every single minute, maybe. Not maybe every single minute, but I think so, right? Because your portfolio can just move up and down, right? So at that point, the money means a lot less to you. And maybe at that point, you're thinking, oh, I can never make this back. I can never repay my debts. A lot of people have gone, even Trump, how much was he down? $1 billion maybe at some point. I don't know, maybe 3 billion, maybe 8 billion in debt. You always got to see it from that perspective that whatever hole you've dug yourself into, you'll probably get up way further from there. And some people like to do it the risky way. Some people like to do the slow and, I guess, building up way. Everybody's different in that sense. But in this case here, when it comes to tariffs, I tell everybody, be a bit careful. Oh, not when it comes to tariffs. I would say with the market, be a bit careful because things are really, really overreacting, right? But overarchingly, the crypto market's still in a really positive light because Bitcoin is not even down today. It's a funny fact. But I'm saying Trump is making the whole market move so much that I'm telling people, be a bit more cautious than you usually are. With buying dips, I would say take a little step back a little bit. I'd say take a little step back when you're going crazy on these moves or whatever. Just consider that Trump could do anything in the next few days or so. And so if you consider that Trump could do just one announcement from Trump basically and it wrecks our entire balance, at least for a day or a few days, and one move in a day can be like 40%, or at least it has been right now. If you consider those things, you add them together, then I would say, it's smart to be a bit more cautious than I usually am. Unless you get such a juicy spot. If you, for example, got just to buy yourself a freaking $1.75 or 78, $1.80, $1.90 actually even XRP. Again, you do not know how quickly afterwards is going to bounce from there. Sure. But the idea that you were able to get yourself such a low price, perhaps for a fully standalone position, could have been amazing. And what I mean with that is, in this case, this position, right? Matter of fact, it's actually not in as bad a spot as many of y'all think. Why am I saying that? Well, I opened most of this at $3 something because, hey, we're momentum investing. We're thinking the price is going to go up more. I was adding so much now at the $2.20-ish level or so. It just averaged out now to 60 something. But this could have been way, way, way worse. At the on the flip side, I believe it was 70 cents before because we opened this with a very small balance a while back. But yeah, no. Some people are saying they checked the door. Hey, who who checked the door after the doorbell? That's funny. I like that. That's really, really funny. Anyway, so if you're wondering, what's the news? Because I see a couple of people that have asked that just now. There's not that much news, except for the fact that tonight at 12 p.m. Dubai time, or in American time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, Trump is going to speak to Trudeau again, and this is the most important event of the day. I might make another standalone video in like an hour, because it's going to happen in 2.5 hours, and I want everybody to be prepared. Because again, the tariffs against Mexico have been paused for 1 month, but Canada we still have got, right? Rocky says, try to sell yesterday and buy the dip, but ended up selling the dip. Oh no! That is the worst. Please don't ever tell me that in my comment section again. Oh man, you sold the dip. That must. Oh man. Anyway, try to sell yesterday and buy the dip, but sold the dip, so lost some of my XRP. Just trying to forget and move on. Should have just held. Rocky, I will tell you one thing, man. We have all probably made that mistake a few times in our lives, right? Even I have probably done it in the past where I'm like, you know what? It'll probably go down to zero. One of my friends, who's one of the wealthiest people I know, he's the perfect expert of selling at the wrong time. The thing is, he's an expert in also, I guess, trading on the side. But if he ever tells me, sell it, sell, you know things are going to skyrocket. And if he says, yeah, I'm thinking of buying something, it usually doesn't do so well. It's really funny. His overall balance is amazing. He's a very wealthy man. But, you know, it's kind of funny how some people have that unlucky thing, right? Even if you have all your money out there, you can still make those mistakes. Vicky says, can Trump coin be a rug pull? What's your opinion? I mean, a rug pull is definitely not the case. They probably won't rug pull it. That would be the dumbest thing ever. It's going to probably go to jail then, or at least something like that. It could be a slow bleed, though. That would basically mean there's nothing going on for it again. It just slowly goes down. It trickles down. Could be for Trump coin. But, I mean, you got to see it like, I kind of see it as Trump stock. Not Trump's company stock, but Trump funny stock. If Trump says something crazy, funny, blah, 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 I think the coin will eventually start bouncing off of it. But right now, it's still mediocrely so. Somebody says, I don't know how much I trust crypto after yesterday. Man, this is funny that you say that. I sometimes forget people are new here. If you think that what we saw yesterday it could happen again. Well, obviously, yes. If you want gains, right, you got to understand that there's also the opposite side of that, which is the downside. If you really want the craziest of gains, you also need to respect the lowest of lows. And you need to respect the idea that these are opportunities where some people, again, just to get back to you, some people right now, there's probably one person, even in this chat, who's laughing his ass off because he made for example, I'm just giving an example. He made $14 million buying the XRP dip right here, and now he's retired, and maybe he retired his family or somebody in his family, who knows. There's probably somebody in the chat who made so incredibly much money just off of the XP price dumping this much. There's a few people, because I can see some of the stats, but there's most likely quite a few people who were shorting XRP just because they expected something bad to happen and made a life-changing amount of money just off of this move. Maybe they only had $10,000 to their name first. Now they have $2 million. I'm not saying they did, but I'm saying there's opportunities everywhere. There's people who who sold their XRP right there. But again, the fact that they sold their XRP at $1.84 means the price got there, or at least got lower, to where another person could buy that dip again. So where one person gets greedy, another person might get scared, and so forth and so on. It will always be that way. We can always say, oh, manipulation, or all this, or it's his fault, that's fault, it's his fault, or no. But ultimately, nobody really knows for sure where we're going to be tomorrow. All we know is that one of the best strategies in the crypto market has been to just not be a little whiny ass. Just buy the freaking dip. And not think about it too much in the sense of, yeah, but what if? Because if you start thinking about the what ifs, then every single industry you can invest in has issues. I always say, think about your investments properly, sure. But if you say, can they go down again? What if they go down again? Yeah, anything can go down, obviously. If you only start thinking about the potential downsides, then there's also no upside. The only thing you can do then is maybe like a stable coin of sorts, like a US dollar. But even then, there are downsides to holding a dollar versus a euro. And then you can start thinking again, if you were holding a Canadian dollar, right now you might not be feeling too well because it's down a lot versus the United States dollar, et cetera, et cetera. Rich Dreams Beat says, for everyone selling, believe there is somebody buying. For the most part, that is true. Blue says, average is around 40 cents, so honestly just holding and feel no pressure trying to catch falling knives. Just buy at the next lower established support. Solid as well. All right, I would always say, be a bit cautious if you're trying to buy when the price is up. How much is it up now? So anybody, if you're wondering why I'm saying these are some of the craziest opportunities in your freaking lives, don't be a little whiny ass. The XRP price is up 50% in 12 hours. So to anybody saying, yeah, but shut up. Right? This is massive opportunities. If you can't see that, open your eyes, brother. It's scary, sure. But this is why buying the dips sometimes is one of the, it just works. Let me just say it like that. It just works. It can be scary, it can be awful, it can be bad timing, it can be, oh, you got unlucky, you got liquidated once or twice, et cetera, sure. But in this case now, looking at it, it's up 50% in just half a day. I don't even want to look at my portfolio apps to see how that has been doing. I don't even want to see it, man. I think I'd cry if I see the amount of money. I told you guys, yesterday was the worst night the worst my portfolio has ever looked. I don't want to see what it looked like today. I didn't even check. I just know that because of what we went down to, it must have been the worst. If I have my other phone here. I don't have it. Do I have it? This is the wrong one. I'm also now starting to assemble a lot of different phones, it seems. But not the right one is here. Okay, so I cannot check for real. Unfortunately, I cannot see any balance, so that's unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter. The idea still counts. I probably lost a fortune overnight, but I will make it up back. Man, look at the trade. We're doing good. In profit again, but we need so much more. Anyway, watch out for tonight. I'm going to end the stream for right now. I'm going to take my food because it's been getting colder and colder. I'll be back in a few hours, though. Either streaming or at least making some videos because I got some ideas. I'll most likely publish a video or so in an hour talking about what happens in a few hours. Obviously, 12 a.m. Dubai time. Yeah, I'll be back. So stick around. Make sure you put that notification bell on. And stratificate. Anyway, he said stratificate. I don't know exactly what that's supposed to say, but I want to say, think about it from the perspective of we're getting a freaking strategic Bitcoin reserve or crypto reserve at some point. Really, things are quite a lot more bullish than people are making it out to be. I think a lot of it is an overreaction, but hey, I'm not putting all my money where my mouth is, as you can see. I'm not longing after absolutely everything in my balance. I'm being a bit more cautious because we can't go down more. And if Trump tonight says something negative, I don't want to look at my portfolio, but yeah, that's it. What's for dinner? Wouldn't you like to know, huh?